Today, I'm going to be checking out the Hana by GLSSWRKS. Huge shout out to Tekusai for sending this out for me to check out. He is the absolute GOAT. The Hana is probably my favorite glass pad that I've looked at so far. The artwork is absolutely beautiful. And I'm not saying that just because there's an anime girl, but that's a big part of it, of course. It's just that red accent on the monochromatic color scheme that just really makes it pop. And for me, this is just one of my favorite designs that I've seen on a glass pad so far. The packaging here is really good, like the other glass pads I've taken a look at. The interior is protected with a dense foam, so you don't really have to worry about it being damaged in shipping. In the box, you get this really cool postcard with a holographic artwork and a little plastic film on top of the pad to protect it, as well as a plastic film on the bottom protecting the silicone base. Underneath the pad, you will find some custom Unusual Way Sports Silver Fox dot skates, as well as an included microfiber cloth for the pad. The silicone base on the bottom of the Hana is very typical to other glass pads that I've checked out, and you should have no issues with this pad sliding around on your desk, just because the weight of the glass plus that silicone base should pretty much make sure that it doesn't move at all. The dimensions of the Hana is 490 by 420 millimeters. It is 3 millimeters thick, that is including the silicone. Without the silicone base, the glass is 2 millimeters thick, and the texture on the top here is a smooth, balanced, controlled glass with a little bit of texture to help your mouse sensor track. So let's talk about the friction and the glide of the Hana. When compared to the Wallhack SP004, the Hana is definitely a little bit more on the controlled side. It's not as fast as the SP004, where you have literally zero friction on that mouse pad. With the Hana, you are still getting a little bit more of that controlled experience, but when compared to something like the Tenta-X Cataclysm glass mouse pad, which I reviewed, or the Lock-On Harut, I would say that the Hana is a little bit faster than both of those pads. And when I say fast, I just mean that the surface of the pad feels like it has lower friction when compared to those other pads. The surface of the Hana is very smooth, it is heat treated and has very good moisture resistance. So as you can see, when I was actually using it in the video here, I wasn't using a sleeve at all, but I still do recommend that you use a sleeve, especially if you live in a more humid climate or you just have really moist hands or arms. You will still want to use a sleeve to make sure you get the optimal experience using this pad. All in all, the Hana is a fantastic glass pad, not only just for use, but even as just a showpiece. If you just want to keep it in your room just to show off, it is just a stunning pad to look at. If you're hesitant about switching to glass pads because you're currently on a cloth pad, you can always go with a more controlled, balanced option like the Hana, or even something slower like the Lock-On Harut or the Tenta-X Cataclysm. All of these pads have more friction and are more of a controlled feeling when compared to something like the Wallhack SP004. So if you're new to glass pads and you want to do a slow transition over, you can always try one of these controlled balance pads first before you move on to something frictionless like the SP004. If you're switching to glass pads, I always recommend that you get a sleeve as well as some dot skates to pair along with that glass pad. The dot skates will just make sure that your experience is a lot less scratchy, because with the stock PTFE skates that come on most mice, you will wear those down really fast on a glass pad, and those will be really scratchy as well. So I always recommend getting some nice dot skates to put on your mouse. Those will last a lot longer than traditional PTFE skates, and they'll also reduce the scratchiness, and they will be a lot less noisy than regular skates. And of course, I always recommend you get a sleeve as well. If you want to use a glass mouse pad optimally, you will need a sleeve just to make sure that your arm doesn't stick to the pad and you get that full frictionless experience that you want from glass. But that's pretty much it, guys. That was my look at the GLSSWRKS Hana. Again, this is currently my favorite glass pad in terms of just the overall design, and GLSSWRKS really did a great job with this pad. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.